Well, this is Monday. What day is today? February 17th. And I'm at the place where I'm supposed to deliver. And I go inside the door there with the staircase in the middle where the cars are. And everything is dark. So, you know, I decided to play it smart. I see the phone over there. So I dialed the phone number I have on my paperwork, you know. That often works. When you're like right there and you call the number. See? Jesus. Hello?
Hey, Sergey.
Yeah.
This is the gentleman's name who my customer talked to Friday, who was aware that you will be there this morning. His name is Victor Suarez.
Victor?
His phone number?
Hold on.
520.
Hold on. Okay. Go ahead.
520.
Yep.
980.
Okay.
1337.
1337. So 520-980-1337. But so he is.
He's the one that knows that the contact guy that we need to get a hold of and let know that you're there and how they coordinate about getting you unloaded.
Okay, but so since his last name Suarez, that's the name of the Suarez brokerage company. I guess he's the owner or something, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, but so he knows I should be here today, right? Oh, I see. Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Bye. Yeah, but basically my concern was so that everything was dark. Then I called the phone number, and some lady answers on the second floor. They also do customs. You know, basically this company they deal with trans-border shipments, and they also have a warehouse, and they deal with paperwork. You know, seems like a good business. And but I don't see the crane. You know, that's my main concern. So I went inside, everything is dark, but this lady answered and she says, oh, they open at 9 local time, which is only 8:30 now. So, and we are 2 hours behind Eastern time. And all I see inside is regular forklifts. So no way they can lift a 40,000 pound thing sitting on the step deck with a regular forklift, right? And I walked behind the building looking for a crane, you know, nothing. So that's why I called this guy, my agent. I said, because that's the worst thing that can happen, and it happened many times before when I'm driving somewhere like this far, right, and I tell the agent I'm going, like, he knows my location, where I am every day, right, and he knows my estimated time of arrival, ETA, and then you arrive at a place, let's say 1 week later, you know, 2,000 miles down the road, so you've been driving all week, and you arrive there, and guys look at you, like, scratching their heads. We didn't know you were coming. Said I just did 2,000 miles and no one told you in 1 week that I was coming, you know. But anyway, seems like these guys are supposed to know that I was coming, so this guy gave me a phone number, the agent gave me a phone number of some guy, Victor, and so I'm supposed to call him, and he says they talked to him on Friday and he's in the know. Alright, so hopefully I'm not gonna sit here all day, because, you know, if they didn't order the crane, it's not something like that you can do like that, right? Because the crane company will be busy. Usually they need at least 2-3 days advance notice, right? So I hope that these guys on Friday ordered the crane. But the weather here is like unbelievable, you know. 13 plus Celsius, 56 Fahrenheit, but it's only 8:30 local time, but people walking around in shirts and jeans, you know, like summer. I don't want to leave, you know. But I'll probably be here a couple of days looking for my next load. And I just talked to the Victor guy, and it turns out he's not Victor, he's Hector. But I'm positive my agent, the dispatch, said Victor, right? Because I asked him, I asked him twice, Victor, and this guy was like, Victor, no, I'm Hector. Okay. Well, I said, did they tell you that I need a crane? And guess what his answer is? He says, no, they did not tell me. I said, my dispatch told me that they talked to you on Friday, right? You know, it's a 40,000 pound piece. You cannot take it off with a forklift. Oh, I did not know about that. But let me, my warehouse opens at 9. Let me find out where I can offload you. So probably he will send me somewhere, because they probably do this a lot. You know, near the border, it's pretty busy. So he might send me to another nearby location that has a big forklift or a big crane. But now, of course, the thing is that you gotta worry about, you know, when you're near the border, is this little piece of paper. It's called a bond, right? Which means that this cone crusher is inside US traveling in bond. So I can only unload it at a bonded warehouse, which is kind of like a not part of the US, you know, like they have all special permits. Like these guys are a bonded warehouse, which means that this is not like US for legal purposes, you know. So they take this off, and then they stamp that bond, the paper with the red stamp, boom, 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 you know, bond cancelled. And after that, that's their responsibility. So I cannot just go to a regular place, like, you know, US company, and they sign, hey, shipment received, because that's not going to work, because then my company, Landstar, might get a big fine, you know. So you got to be careful with these bonds. They're real tricky. So hopefully these guys know what they're doing. So, well, things started to move at 9:20, actually around 9 o'clock. Some dude showed up, took my paperwork, and disappeared. And I don't know his name. He says the guy I talked to called him, but he came from out of that building, and he took my paperwork, and I'm sitting inside feeling like an idiot, you know. Like, what if he doesn't come back? He took all my paperwork, the bond, the bill of lading, you know. What do I do? Go inside and say, hey, some dude took my paperwork. Where is it? Oh, what's his name? Oh, I don't know. All right. But now he came back out, gave me back the paperwork. I sighed with relief. Because, you know, that's the worst thing that can happen when someone takes off with your paperwork and you don't even know who that person is. Happened to me with another load. If you saw my video about tankers I was delivering to Nova Scotia, I think that video, if you search with the words tanker, I think it was called Tanker, Soldier, something, Spy, kind of like a play of words. And a girl, it was a port, right, a very secure facility, and some girl showed up in a pickup truck. Can I see your paperwork? She took my paperwork and disappeared, you know. I don't know her name. Then this other guy shows up in another pickup truck, and he says, where's your paperwork? I say, I don't know, some girl took it. So basically, you really gotta be careful who you give your paperwork to. But the guy came back, gave me the paperwork, and he says they want to see some pictures. So he took some pictures, and he said, he says this thing goes to Mexico, and it's like really the biggest import company. He says a very big company. So now that company in Mexico is arranging the unloading. So clearly something is amiss here. He says that's always how it's done. Like basically, I guess people forget to tell him that the truck is coming, you know. So we're still sitting, but at least the good news is that, you know, I need to do oil change. See, and that's why people were asking me, like, why did they ever think of pulling a reefer? You're joking, right? I'm sitting, what, 20 feet away from the reefer, and I cannot talk because that thing started just now and it's so loud. Now imagine if that thing was behind my truck. Right behind my truck. If I was hooked up to that thing, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I don't know how people sleep. The whole truck would be like this, you know? You know, like this. Forget it. But I don't know, I see lots of women. Pulling reefers. I guess because, of course, they pay better than drive-in trailers, and it's not that much more work, you know? All you have to do is just, you know, throw some, you know, bodies of cows and cattle around, so no big deal. So sorry, I started saying, I got distracted by the reefer. I started saying that the good news is that I found the where to change my oil. and there was I saw a big ad, like a big sign at the Pilot truck stop, someplace something tires, and I found them online. I called them, and I talked to the girl, and she's all Spanish, right? When she answers the phone, even though this is Nogales, Arizona, she answers in Spanish, and I start talking, explaining the problem, and then she says, "Hold on," and then I hear she says, "Sergio, oh, Linea Uno." Some other guy, his name is Sergio, and this Sergio comes back on after like 10 minutes, and I say, "Do you speak English?" "A little bit." And it turns out, yeah, they do oil changes for big trucks. I said, "Can you get cat filters?" Because that was my concern. It's a tiny town, right? And he says, "Yeah, you give me your 8 last numbers of your VIN, I'll get cat filters." Perfect. I said, "Can you do synthetic oil?" He says, "Yeah, Shell and Rotella." I said, "Perfect." And these guys here are pretty cheap, so that's what I'm going to do. While I'm searching for the load, hopefully I'm going to be unloaded before Christmas. And then I'll go to these guys and somewhere right here, like a couple of miles, and do the oil change. Well, I've been here 2 hours, and I could have just walked to the building, but I don't even know the guy's name, right? No, wait, Hector, right? No, Hector is the guy I called, but the other guy who took my paperwork. And I'm on my computer, my internet works. You see, that's why it's really important to have internet all the time. Because first of all, you can kill time, and that's why I don't like smartphones, you know. Why would I want to stare at that 1.5-inch screen? Okay, 5-inch screen. But I'm browsing on my laptop, you know, beautiful. Just was checking some specs for trailers, answered some emails. A guy replied to my Kijiji ad for a flatbed trailer, wanted to know the deck height. And I said, okay, I think it's 56 inches, but I'm not sure. But turns out he wants to put a rolling top system on it. And then he says, "Oh, the axles are fixed, they don't move?" Well, I said, yeah, fixed. And then the title of the, that's what the ad said, right? Fixed 72-inch tandem. And he says, are they fixed? Or is it a slider? No, it's not a slider. And then the subject line of the ad said 53-foot flatbed trailer by Wilson. And this guy, the same guy, sends me an email and he says, "What make is the trailer?" I'm not making this up. I said, well, that's why it says by Wilson. Oh, I'm sorry. But I guess, I said, where are you gonna take the trailer? He says, well, mostly just Ontario, Canada to Michigan, US. And I said, well, in Ontario, that 72-inch tandem gives you the same weight as a 10-1 spread, as a lone spread. It's 19,000 kgs, or almost 40,000 pounds. But unfortunately, as soon as you cross into Michigan, you only get 34,000 pounds. But you know, I moved those axles because I wanted to. I think I got my money back I spent on that modification, because I did quite a few trips to Western Canada, and that's why you need that 6-foot tandem. But anyway, so I sent an email to the agent complaining that it's been 2 hours. So I said, I want your customer to pay $75 an hour starting now, or $500 a day, because it's not my fault that I've been driving for 1 week and you guys knew I was coming and everybody was supposed to know, but the crane is not here, right? So it's not my problem. And usually we give them 2 hours. 2 hours is free. After that, someone is gotta pay. Someone is gotta go to jail, as that line goes. And Ben, someone has to go to prison. Nick Cage, remember that movie? But anyway, someone was asking me about how to check the oil. Well, that's an interesting question, you know. So how do we check the oil? I think, how do we check it? We can check it here. So we have this W40. See? Yeah, got oil. But we want to check the oil inside the engine too sometimes, right? And we open this latch. So we need to have some good breakfast, like this. Boom. All right. And now actually I'm so happy, you know, I like opening my hood now, because it's real easy after we reinstall the spring, and then you go like this and you lift. Right? You see this shiny $100 spring with that $75 bracket really made things totally different. And then we go here. Okay, where's my oil? My oil dipstick. No, it's not here. Oh, that's my water separator. Maybe it's inside the cab. You know, I don't do it too often. So, you know, I have bungee cords in here. Hello, dipstick. Hello. No, I think it should be in the engine, because otherwise it would make sense, right? Okay, what is this thing? No, this one. I think that's my brakes. Okay, what is this thing? It's okay. I think that's the lever that opens the hood when you push the secret button inside. Now this looks like oil, but no. Okay, let's be serious. This is my steering fluid. This is my compressor, right? This is where you add the oil when you need to add it. Just you unscrew this, pop it up, and put the oil in there. And this is my dipstick. It's actually checking oil here is much easier than on my, you know, when I had the Ford F-150. On that one, the hood was so tall, and many people complain. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and even for me it was hard to reach to get the dipstick, because it was right in the middle of the engine. Like you really had to stand on your toes, you know. Here it's real easy. See, boom, you open like this, and you check your oil. And the worst thing you can do is you lose this. If you lose this or break this part, it's very expensive to fix. I think one guy said he broke it or something, and it's like a few $100 bucks, I don't know. But that's how you check the oil. But the most important things in a turbo engine are these things. These clamps, you have to check them all the time, because that's your turbo high pressure air coming back from the charger cooler. And if these things are loose, if you can turn them a little bit, that's it. Your high pressure air will be going out into the atmosphere, and you will be losing fuel mileage. So that's my turbo, right? I got a dual turbo. No, wait a second. Yeah. That's my turbo, I think, right? Well, I'm not a big turbo specialist. Like, here I'm honest, you know. Why do I have so many of these? I thought it was just like a dual thing. And actually that's where I had a hole. This thing, that bracket was rubbing against this thing, and it was making a hole in it. But this is just air from my air filter. That's the intake under the windshield, right? The air comes in there, goes through the filter inside, comes out on the other end, goes into this pipe, and it's sucked by the turbo, right? You see here, this is the low pressure. Then it's spinned, goes in there, and it's already high pressure air, goes in here. Now wait a second. This goes in here. This is a regular low pressure. I think then it goes in there, because I know it has to go here. This is where the really high pressure air goes into the bottom of your radiator. At first, I didn't know much about diesel engines. I thought, why would air go into the radiator? And then I learned that there's a charge air cooler, kind of like a special radiator, but for air. So it cools the air down because it's hot, right? The turbo is very hot. And these are very important. Again, these must be real tight, so that I keep them so tight that I cannot turn these nuts. Because again, if you have a leak here, you cannot tell unless you really keep them super tight. And that's about it. And that's my coolant, right? And it keeps popping out because it's, when it gets hot, and that's my alternator. Right, that's the fan. That's the fan that the one guy lost, and it fell off that thing over there, and it killed his radiator. So pretty simple, really, but you gotta take care of it. Now I followed a guy in a pickup truck to another warehouse with a totally different name, not what on my bill of lading, and they don't have a crane, so they're trying to figure out how to take this thing off with yeah, so they're trying to lift it with 2 cranes, with 2 forklifts. Check this out. This guy, he said he's rated for about, he said what, 36,000? See? His tires are in there. And my trailer had no problem carrying this thing over 2,200 miles. Well, they were not able to do it with forklifts. Now they said 2, 3, 4 hours, a crane should be here. Now I'm just hiding away my binders and chains. And some guys were asking me where I keep all my stuff. That's where I keep it. See this little handy compartment, right? That's where I keep the chains, and I have them organized. Like here I have regular chains and some straps, and on the other side, in the other compartment, on the driver's side, I have heavy-duty chains. So this way I know that I know where to go when I have something heavy. And then I keep my straps like this. See, I remove the seat. Who needs a second seat when you don't use it? And I keep this carton, so I have like books and stuff like that. My, you know, phone headset, you know, maps. And then I just got this crate, and I keep my straps in it. You know, everything is well organized. Albeit a bit dirty. Well, I cheated a little bit. While we're waiting for the crane, I figured, why can't they sign my bill of lading right now, right? So I asked the guy, I said, you the boss? The guy and the Spanish looking guy says, yeah, si. I said, okay, can you sign my paper? And he looks at me, he says, 1 minute, let me get another person. So he was not the boss. Then 10 minutes later, some young dude, you know, dressed to the, as they say, what, to the T, you know, like young, also Spanish looking guy, but, you know, American, right? Expensive jeans, expensive shoes, you know, nice shirt. I think it was like a jeans shirt, you know, and he's eating something. And he comes over, starts asking me questions, you know, why couldn't they take it off with forklifts? So, well, because you guys have weak-ass forklifts, that's why. But anyway, so can you sign it now, so that I can send it to my company? Because today is my payday, I mean, cut-off day, right? And it's now, what, Jesus, 2:57 p.m. on the eastern coast. So that's why I think my cutoff is like 2 p.m. But I know if I'm a little bit over, like an hour, 2 hours, they're still okay. So if I do it now, I'm still gonna be paid for this Wednesday, right? So we're gonna use my powerful Canon, what is this, CanoScan LIDE 200 scanner. We're gonna use my Verizon Internet jetpack. And the best part, the most amazing part about this technology, the scanner, is that it does not require any power besides the USB cable. And to me, that's like amazing. Why can't they make more gadgets like this? Because this is perfect for a truck, you know. So that's it. I just hook it up to my USB cable, scan the bill of lading, scan the, oh, and then I basically, the guy signed, and then I dropped the trailer there, because I haven't eaten anything since morning, and they said it can be like 4 hours till the crane arrives. Like, I know these cranes, I'm wise about cranes. Those guys are real slow. They take their time because they're paid like 500 bucks an hour. And so I dropped the trailer and I drove back here where I originally came, because the guy took my bond and he took it to the US Customs Office to cancel it. So you see, now I have a beautiful red stamp, and that's what I need. I need a bill of lading signed, and I need this, and that's it. So now we can be paid on Wednesday. I have a big feast with salami and Russian vodka. Well, I'm kidding about vodka. No vodka till the next weekend. That's it. It's 3 o'clock local time, so I'm Caboa showed up with a very weird looking step deck, 2 axles, and I see from this sign on the door that it's Mexican truck, so clearly he's here to pick up this load. But next to me there's also some kind of agricultural attachment, and another dude came out of the office, and they started walking around talking something in Spanish. I came out, I said, "So where's the crane?" And the guy says, "Can I see your papers?" So he wanted to see the weight. I said, 40,000 pounds. And he says, for everything? I said, "What do you mean for everything?" He says, the crusher and this blue attachment on the passenger side, but it's like, I don't think it's heavy, maybe 5,000 pounds. But I said, "No, I didn't bring that one. I only brought this one." So this guy has only 2 axles, and looks like they wanted to load everything on him. And they checked the plate, the specs plate, and because I asked him, I said, "What's your empty weight?" And he did not know. So we looked at the plate. It says 17,500 pounds, because his trailer is all steel, like it's not a single piece of wood. The entire floor is steel. It's a very strong trailer, but it only has 2 axles, right? So with only 2 axles, and 17,500 pounds empty weight, he can only do probably 41,000 in US. But it's a Mexican truck, so I don't know. But he has to get to the border. So now the guy started scratching his head. Basically they wanted him to take everything. So I said, "You didn't answer, so where's the crane?" "Oh, I have to figure out something with this." I said, "Why do you just take it off my trailer, right? Why is it sitting on my trailer?" See, like, that's what I hate, when they use your trailer as a warehouse, as a storage, right? I said, "Take it off my trailer, put it on the ground, and then do what you want. I gotta go, I gotta make money." No, now then they're trying to figure out, see, they're not dealing with the crane, they're dealing with, they're concerned now with the trailer that they will be transloading on, which is totally not my problem, right? So, but that's lots of shippers are like this, because they don't want to, if they drop it on the ground and they don't have the correct trailer, then what happens is that the crane will leave, right? Or the crane will have to wait. And I guess they were waiting to order the crane when they have everything, so that crane can kind of pick this up from my trailer, swing it around, and drop it on that trailer. And so I've been here a whole day, right? I was here at 8:30. Then they said wait till 9, okay, but now it's already 2. Well, at least the good thing is that at least all my papers are signed. I sent everything to Landstar, so I'm going to be paid on Wednesday, no matter what. Now I'm just trying to find a load, and everything is pretty far away. Somewhere in Texas, 1,000 miles, and goes to Saskatchewan, Alberta, stuff like that. And the guy just came out, another boss, and he says, "Well, we got a crane, but the problem is it's in Tucson, Arizona, which is 60 miles from here." And I said, "Well, so what's happening? Is it coming?" He says, "Yeah, it's coming, but not today." So they ask you. I asked you before, right? I said, "Are you sure about that?" He said 3, 4 hours, 2 hours. I said, "Today, right? Today." And I asked him like 2 or 3 times, because I know with cranes it's always next day or the day after tomorrow, because they're always busy. And that's what he said. The crane is in Tucson, and the crane is working on something, so the crane is busy, so it cannot leave. Otherwise, it could be here in an hour, right? So. And it's already 3:23, so I put a lock on my trailer. I said, "Okay, you sure it's not gonna be today?" He says, "Sure." Okay, so I'm gonna go to the truck stop, but maybe now I found this Alex's Tire Pros. Man, they do all kinds of services, including, for big trucks. And he closes at 6, and now it's 3:24, so maybe he'll have time to service my truck. I just want to check, change oil, filter, stuff like that. And then, yeah, they open the gate back at 8 o'clock, so my trailer will be behind the locked gate And this is Arizona, this is not Mexico, so I don't think it's gonna get stolen, especially with that with that 40,000 piece on it. I'm gonna ask that Mexican guy, why is he still here? If they said the crane is not gonna be here, why is he still sitting there?